Hi everyone, can you all hear me? I'm sure you can. Do you want to come a bit closer? Because I think it would be nice if you could see the product as well. So I'm Blythe, the Global Content Director at MFxELLEUK, and I'm here with Michelle Duguid, who is Senior Fashion Editor at Elle magazine. We also have a lovely roster of activewear designers here with us today. So we have got Mara and Sheila from Laain, we've got Sarah and Donna from LNDR, and Lee from Pepper and Mayne. So I thought what would be great today is if we just have a quick talk to the designers about their brands, but also Michelle, being the fashion guru, is going to talk to you about how to kind of style up your activewear and your loungewear for every day. So we'll start with you guys. So I think what would be great is if you could introduce yourselves, how you started your brands, and the kind of USP of what you do. Do you guys want to start?
Yeah, of course. My name's Sarah. I'm Donna. We're from LNDR. The way that we like to describe LNDR is designed for the modern active lifestyle. So we combine performance activewear mixed with technical basics. So LNDR is the abbreviation for Londoner. So we have all lived in London for quite a while, and we designed a collection mainly around a busy, modern active lifestyle. So performance and technical fabrics are first and foremost what we design the collection around, pieces that are going to work, in the gym and beyond the gym as well. Yeah. Anything to add?
I think how we started, we've all come from the industry at different parts, and sort of came together and figured out that we both enjoyed the same thing, and it's very easy to be a part of active, and health and fitness is very empowering, and so we all just came together and started working together, and yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
I'm Sheila McCain-Wade, and this is my business partner,
Tamara.
And we're from Laain, and I think very similar to LNDR, we are really a brand that's kind of for the multifaceted woman. I think it was really born out of our own personal lifestyles and maybe a lack in our wardrobe of the kind of clothes that we felt like we needed to get from the school pickup in the morning, to a gym class, to a meeting, to a dinner later on. And I think it's really just about how women live their lives today and the kind of busy lives and sort of time poor lives that all of us lead. And how we met.
Sheila and I met, we were both working on high-end fashion shows, and I work as a stylist, Sheila works as a designer. We met about 3 years ago, and then we had a summer off and we were doing quite a lot of sport, and as Sheila said, there wasn't really anything we could find that worked in our wardrobe, so we started to design Laain.
The USP for our brand is we have sort of 3 different segments. We have low impact sport, which is kind of performance sport, but much more geared for yoga, Pilates, that kind of workout. We have high impact, which is much more has all the sort of performance capabilities, running, cross-training, boxing, all kinds of fitness. We can talk more about fabric properties later. I get really into that. And then we have après sport, which is like all the kind of cover-ups and easy sort of athleisure pieces as well.
I think it's really important though, the fabrics, because I think with these brands, which Michelle will talk about in a minute, it's about being able to wear these pieces from school drop-off to the gym, and then for lunch with friends, and feeling comfortable as well. And it's that kind of blurring of these boundaries really, which is really interesting, I think. And you, Lee, do you want to talk about Pepper and Mayne?
Pepper and Mayne. So our mantra is exercise and elegance. We're heavily inspired by the ballet aesthetic, and everything we do has to have a strength and an elegance to it. So that's in the product and it's in the lifestyle as well. So we really celebrate strength and elegance of ballerina and how you live your life as well, and empowering women.
And you've got a beautiful kind of capsule there with the Royal Ballet. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so what we're known for really is our bodywear, so our seamless bodies and our leggings, which really define the body. So when you're practicing ballet or Pilates, you're talking about lengthening the limbs, and our product really complements that kind of training. We're approached by the Royal Ballet to do an exclusive capsule with them. So we decided to go down the loungewear route and layer in pieces that you can wear to and from the studio and really fit seamlessly into your everyday wardrobe. So you can travel. So if you're going on a long haul flight, then the 100% cashmere hooded jumpsuit is perfect. And just to layer the cashmere hoodie over a body and a pair of leggings as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. is something that we are seeing more and more of. Do you want to give us a little bit of a how-to and how to kind of style these pieces together and for your day?
Hi everyone. I think I just wanted to start really at the beginning and explain that there's been a huge kind of seismic change in the way that we're approaching clothes, and we've been talking about the casualisation of clothes for quite some time at Elle, and I think we've been behind New York in the way that we have dressed for quite a long time. We've been much more formal, even though British people like to play everything down, but we've been much more eccentric in our kind of formality of clothes. But recently, obviously there's been huge sportswear companies coming through, and Vetements is one that I'm sure you all know about, but that's had a massive effect on people's opinions about sportswear. And there's lots of other really key brands as well to look at, but Vetements is one of the top ones. And I think also we've been looking at the idea of the power dressing as well. What does power dressing mean to the average woman? And Sheila kind of hit upon the fact that we all have really busy lives. So actually, if we're in very formal clothes and very formal shoes, we just can't manage around London. We can't do everything that we want to do. You know, we can't pick up our children. We can't go to those dinner parties. We can't kind of get those meetings done every day. So actually, I think that's played a massive part in it all. So trainers have become kind of a normality in most workplaces, I think, in London. I don't know about you tomorrow, but I know that you're a perfect example today of how you're dressing for your kind of for your daytime, but equally you could easily just put a pair of heels on and that would work.
Exactly, and it helps if I work as freelance as well, so if I'm going to meetings and then doing a class and then, as Sheila said, picking up the kids, I just want to be comfortable and I want to know that I can move about. If I want to walk from Marylebone to Primrose Hill to pick up my daughter, I want to walk through the park, I can be on the phone.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
I mean, I don't want to talk about rules because I think that's taking the fun out of fashion. I think there's perhaps nice pointers that we should all kind of think about, and then we could be a bit more liberal about it. But I think when you're trying to style sportswear into your kind of modern wardrobe, don't become too messy with it. Don't become too old. If you've got trainers, they shouldn't be super scruffy if you're wanting to wear them to work. They shouldn't be, obviously, if you're a very stylish woman, you can get away with anything, And that's why I said there's not strict rules, and please don't think about that, because fashion should be fun. But I think thinking about how you do it together, if you've got a beautiful black leather jacket, it of course will work if you have a black hoodie, you then put it with some black leggings, that's a really smart outfit. If you take it all down to the lowest common denominator of your sportswear, you're not going to look as slick and put together. So just keep thinking about that, I think.
I think also we had a catch up last week about this, and we were discussing how with kind of athleisure, activewear wardrobe, there were certain key pieces that everybody needs. I think that's quite interesting as well. It's like, what are those pieces and how do you style them?
I think the puffer coat is absolutely huge for autumn winter. That's on the catwalk, and it's in most people's sportswear wardrobe. So think about that. I think the basic black body or leotard is a really important piece. That can be worn with jeans, really great, great look. A pair of Levi's, equally a pair of black tuxedo trousers will look really, really super chic, I think. And then a bomber jacket, that's a great shape. Pair of black leggings. I think a black legging is actually incredibly useful because you can wear it like a trouser, but you can put it under a dress as well, or a skirt, and use it as an extra layer, because I think sportswear is really good with layering. And think about all those different thin layers on top of each other. What else was I thinking? Lots of brands have good tube skirts. I think you guys have one as well, which is great. And then the white trainer, I think, actually is a very important thing, and it tends to cut through lots of those darker layers and looks good equally with fluoros if you start adding those in. So those are the key components, I think, of everyone's wardrobe.
That's quite a good point, actually, because just with your three brands, they've a real different mix. You've got quite soft pastel colours, pepper and Mayne, you've got some neons over on this side, and it's I suppose what's your advice on kind of working those into like a workwear wardrobe, or how do you go about that?
I think if you keep in all those neutral palettes, that's actually really easy to mix with suiting and smarter pieces. But I do like it when it's cut through, and when I say cut through, it's almost lifted. Because if you put black and navy together, you do need an element to lift those colours, otherwise it can get quite kind of dark and a bit tired. So keep thinking about those whites, keep thinking about grey, keep thinking about slicing through with those fluoro colours, which I think sportswear does really, really well. And actually when I'm styling for Elle, I tend to really enjoy slicing through traditional things with sportswear, because I think it always lifts it. Even if you put it with florals, actually it kind of tends to take the granny out of a floral. You think going back to that Vetements thing, they've done that in a perfectly good, it's a great example of taking the granny out of the floral and kind of lifting it and putting it back into the urban. And I think that's what sportswear does with all the modern fabrics, especially for workwear. It's a great thing actually, because you can, the technical fabrics tend to look quite smart for quite a while. But I think what's lovely about the ballet pieces is they're much softer, and I think that's really nice as well. So you can use those pinks and those greys and put them with the white and the black, and that's actually a really nice alternative. And also navy looks really good with those. So don't be afraid, I think, to just keep putting them into your wardrobe and see what happens.
I think also from you guys, what's interesting is what are your kind of core pieces that you redo every season, that your most popular kind of core elements to your collections? Do you want to talk us through that?
Yeah. The core elements that we have is our seamless. So basically this lovely model here. We've got the seamless crop tops has been amazing, and the leggings, and they're all panelled and made from silver tech yarn, so you're not going to sweat through them, it's antibacterial, it's not going to smell, and so those kind of key pieces we just keep bringing back. And the navy, obviously we love navy, and LNDR has been amazing for us, because it's nice sometimes. I think people love to wear black, but it's great to add something a little bit different, and I think navy sometimes does that for them. And also the guys who've got the scout jacket, I'm wearing the next season version, but this is so you can talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, we've taken like a classic ready-to-wear shape in a bomber jacket and made it quite technical. This is a Swiss technical fabric. It's actually a climate-controlling fabric, so it controls your temperature. So if you overheat, the yarns then redistribute the heat throughout the yarns to regulate your body temperature. So it keeps you, cool when you want to be cool, and warms you up when you want to be warm. So, everything that we produce and everything in what we call our core range is first and foremost performance-based. So yeah, with all of the seamless being quick dry, antibacterial, anti-odor, these are the key pieces within the collection, and the color palette will always be quite clean and have this like aesthetic throughout.
Any sports in particular that these lend themselves to, or is it?
In our team we do all sorts of stuff. I like circuit training, we go to Sarah loves yoga. You can do anything in these really. I mean, with the high impact with the...
Yeah, I mean, all of the bras are medium or higher support, so it's just a matter of the level of support that you want. The seamless leggings that we have here are a compression legging, so they're quite tight compression panels. As a lot of you probably know, they increase blood flow to that area, so it better is like a higher impact workout, but they all have a lot of stretch. So if you're doing yoga, you're doing Pilates, it's whatever you want. So we test them within the team with all the different workouts that we do, so it's up to you really.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
How about you guys?
I would say key pieces are probably our leggings and our bras. And some of the sort of fabric properties are very similar. All of our fabrics are sweat wicking, fast dry, antibacterial, anti-odor. They're made from recycled materials. So I think it's like just trying to keep all the performance kind of properties in mind when we do it. Everything's rigorously tested. And this season we've also introduced bonded seam, so there's like nothing inside for chafing, so it's really, really smooth in terms of that. And our bras, again, sort of medium to high impact, and just kind of lots of support, so that when you're running, when you're doing any kind of cross training, kind of holds you
We really like playing with colour palettes, so we always try and introduce every season an interesting colour palette, and we try and do something quite classic and fit something quite difficult and modern that then becomes a little bit interesting. So we spend days working on colour palettes. It's one of our favourite things.
I think probably because we both come from a ready-to-wear background, we really bring that kind of fashion aesthetic into what we do, and I think it has to sort of fit into all the other elements of our wardrobe to make it feel like right for us in terms of sportswear. If it doesn't have that sort of seamless connection to our normal wardrobe, it's probably not right for our brand.
Yeah. Okay, and for us, the bodywear is what we're really known for. And the bodywear consists of seamless construction and compression wear. So this unitard is one of our best sellers, and it's come in a variety of different colours, and it's got the really flattering panel at the waist. And the benefit of the seamless construction is that the garment's created as one piece on a circular knitting machine, which means that there's tension in the arm at the point of construction. So when you put it on, it kind of naturally sucks you in, and it elongates the body and encourages good posture as well, which encourages you to be more healthy. So the seamless construction garments within the bodywear capsule are really what we're known for and our best sellers.
I think it's so interesting to see just how far activewear has come. I mean, it's now, all these pieces here, I think, are just will empower you to go and train, to do a yoga class, whereas before you kind of think, I just don't want to have to put some ropey old sweatpants on. Exactly. So, but this, I think, is a really great move, and I think it's, you know, how you guys have done your collections. They all feel really different, and yet they're all really genuine, and I think it's wonderful. So congratulations for that. Has anyone got any questions for either Michelle or for our designers? Don't be shy. If not, what we'd like to do now is they're all going to kind of stand by their collections, and if you'd like to go and ask questions and look at the product with them so they can talk it through in more detail, then please do have a chat, because I think that they'd really like to explain the kind of details of each piece to you all. So thank you everyone. Thank you, Michelle.